there, it's Olivia. It may not look like it, but I'm hard at work writing a story. I already brainstormed and planned my story. Now I'm ready to draft it. Drafting a story puts all your great ideas into action. A first draft gives you the opportunity to try out all the story ideas you've thought up. You can develop an interesting storyline for your draft using certain literary techniques. Let's take a look at some of them. When drafting, think carefully about your introduction. How will you engage your audience? Hook them with an exciting incident, an exotic setting, or an interesting character's voice. A quality beginning can do much more than hook the audience. It can reveal the setting, introduce the characters, and establish a point of view. When drafting a story, you also need to consider the point of view you want to use. This is the type of narrator you want. If you want the story to revolve around one certain character, you would use first person or third person limited. If you want the reader to know what more than one character thinks and feels, use third person omniscient. Pacing is another important technique to consider when you're drafting a story. The speed at which events unfold or information is revealed in a narrative is called pacing. A narrative can move quickly or slowly, depending on the content of the narrative. A scene in which one event follows directly after another and then another creates a faster pace in the narrative. Heavily detailed description in a story slows the pace. Dialogue can increase or decrease the pace depending on the dialogue itself. Think about the purpose and mood of a scene to choose the pacing that creates the effect you want in your story. Dialogue not only helps with pacing, it can also add interest to a story. Dialogue in a narrative should sound realistic. Good dialogue sounds like how people actually talk. Be careful to use only dialogue that has a purpose. If you listen to real conversations, you'll hear a lot that doesn't actually impact events or illustrate characters. Writing a great introduction that will hook your audience, deciding on your point of view, and figuring out your pacing and dialogue are just a few of the steps I'm taking in my drafting stage. There are a lot of other writing techniques I'm going to try out at this stage. The best part of drafting is you can have fun playing around with lots of different ideas for your story. And you can always cut what doesn't work when you revise.